Level 1. The Seed of Rebellion. You are the most wanted criminal in the history of Spain. You robbed the royal mint, stole nearly 1 billion euros, manipulated the entire police force, and escaped without firing a single bullet. But this story didn't start with a heist. It started with a sick child in a hospital bed. That child is you. Your entire childhood is confined to a sterile white room in San Sebastián. You don't play outside in the sun. You don't have friends. You just listen to the rhythmic beep of the heart monitors. But you are not alone. Your father, Jesus, sits next to your bed. He doesn't read you fairy tales about knights and dragons. He whispers blueprints. He tells you stories of perfect victimless crimes. You don't know it yet, but your father is robbing banks just to pay for your medicine. One day, he kisses your forehead. He tells you he is going to work. He promises to come back. You wait. The sun goes down. The hospital room gets dark, and he never comes back. The police killed him. You are left completely alone, but you inherit two things: his unfinished blueprint for the Royal Mint of Spain, and a song from your grandfather, a man who fought the fascists in Italy. The song is Bella Ciao. It is a song of resistance. As you lie in that hospital bed, you realize the system is rigged. The banks own the world, and they kill people like your father. You decide you won't be a common criminal. You will be a ghost. You will be the resistance. Level 2. The Toledo Estate. Years pass. You grow up. The sick, terrified child in the hospital dies, and Sergio Marquina is born. To the outside world, you look completely harmless. A quiet primary school teacher. Thick glasses. A soft voice. You have a nervous habit of folding origami. But behind those glasses, a massive, terrifying clockwork is turning. You are going to finish your father's plan. But to pull off the greatest heist in human history, you cannot use professionals. Professionals are selfish. They talk. You need people who are desperate. People who have absolutely nothing left to lose. You retreat to an abandoned hunting estate in Toledo. Here, you bring together 8 ghosts. To protect their identities, you take away their real names. You give them cities: Tokyo, Rio, Denver, Nairobi, Moscow, Helsinki, Oslo, and your second in command, Berlin. What the others don't know: Berlin is your older brother, Andres, and he is dying of a terminal illness. This heist is his final masterpiece. For 5 grueling months, you isolate them. You stand in front of a chalkboard and teach them the laws of the heist. You establish 3 unbreakable rules: no real names, no personal relationships, and absolutely no bloodshed. You tell them the ultimate secret. You are not going to steal anyone's money. You are going to lock the doors of the mint for 11 days, and you are going to print your own unmarked cash. You hand them their uniforms: red jumpsuits, the color of blood and passion, and a mask, the face of the Spanish painter Salvador Dali. It is a symbol of madness. It is a symbol of the resistance. Level 3. The Puppet Master. The day arrives. The team breaches the Royal Mint. 67 hostages are taken. The heavy steel doors lock shut, but you are not inside with them. You are miles away, hidden in a dark warehouse. Wall-to-wall monitors surround you. Radios buzz. You are the Puppet Master. The police surround the building. Elite tactical units aim their sniper rifles. They think they are managing a hostage crisis. They don't realize they are just actors playing a role in a script you wrote 10 years ago. Your primary weapon is psychological warfare. You feed the police false clues. You lead them into dead ends to buy your team inside more time to run the printing presses. But to stay 3 steps ahead, you must get incredibly close to the enemy. You need to know what they are thinking before they think it. Salvador Martin, Salva. You walk right into a local cafe. You sit at the counter next to the lead police negotiator, Inspector Raquel Murillo. She is brilliant. She is ruthless. But you notice something else. She is vulnerable. She is fighting a custody battle against an abusive ex-husband. You offer her a phone charger. You listen to her problems. You weave your way into her intimacy, extracting classified police intelligence right over a cup of coffee. But then, you make a mistake. The one variable you never ever calculated in your perfect equation. You actually fall in love with the woman hunting you. Level 4. The Poison and the Sacrifice. This single emotional flaw nearly destroys everything. Raquel's mother, Maravi, suffers from failing memory. But one evening, through a bizarre chain of events, she discovers your true identity. She leaves Raquel a voicemail. Raquel, Salva is the professor. Your blood runs cold. If Raquel hears that message, you go to prison. Berlin goes to prison. Your father's dream dies. You drive to the mother's house. You have a vial of poison in your pocket. You sit across from her at the kitchen table. She smiles at you, completely unaware. You are about to cross the ultimate moral line. You reach into your pocket. Your fingers grip the vial, but your hand shakes. You look into her eyes. You can't do it. The cold, calculating mastermind breaks, and your humanity wins. Instead of killing her, you wait until she turns her back. You steal her phone. You delete the voicemail. You survive the day. But inside the mint, the illusion of control shatters. Hostages rebel. Panic sets in. Your absolute rule of no bloodshed is broken. And outside, the truth finally catches up to you. Raquel discovers who you really are. She corners you. She points her service weapon directly at your chest. You look at her. You don't beg for your life. Because you know her, you broke her mind, and then you stole her heart. Her hands tremble. Tears stream down her face. She is emotionally unable to pull the trigger. She lowers the gun. She crosses the line. She chooses you over the law. But the victory demands a devastating price. After 128 agonizing hours, your team finishes digging the escape tunnel. The police tactical units storm the building with explosives and assault rifles. To buy the team time to crawl into the tunnel, your brother, Berlin, stays behind. You listen over the radio. You hear the heavy machine gun fire. You hear the silence that follows. Berlin is dead. Moscow is dead. Oslo is dead. Your heart is shattered into a million pieces. But the plan succeeds. Your surviving team escapes into the Madrid underground with 984 million euros. You vanish like a ghost. 1 year later, Palawan, Philippines. You are sitting at a bar on a tropical beach. You left a set of hidden coordinates on some postcards. A woman walks up beside you. It is Raquel. You look at her and smile. You won. You have all the money in the world, the love of your life, and absolute freedom. Level 5, DEFCON 2. 3 years of perfect paradise pass. Your team is scattered across the globe living like kings. But complacency gets you killed. Rio, the youngest of your crew, makes a fatal mistake. He turns on an intercepted satellite phone. Europol tracks his signal instantly. He is captured, dragged to an illegal black site, tortured. Tokyo brings you the news. You know that going after him is a suicide mission. You have everything to lose. But he is family. To force the government to release him, you pull out a dusty, impossible plan. A blueprint designed by your dead brother, Berlin. An assault on the Bank of Spain. You bring the gang back together. Raquel officially joins you, taking the city name Lisbon. This time you are not printing money. You are going to steal the entire national gold reserve. You infiltrate the heavily guarded bank, taking a new set of hostages. But the government has learned from the first heist. They don't play by the rules anymore. Colonel Tamayo and a heavily pregnant, utterly ruthless inspector named Alicia Sierra take charge of the police. Sierra does not negotiate. She attacks. She uses Nairobi's own son as bait, luring her to a window. A police sniper pulls the trigger. The bullet tears through Nairobi's chest. While you are desperately trying to manage the chaos inside, the police corner Lisbon outside in a farmhouse. You are listening over the radio headset. You hear the police screaming. You hear Lisbon crying. Then, a gunshot. Silence. Your breath stops. You believe the love of your life has just been executed. The rational, calculated professor dies in that exact moment. You are consumed by a blinding, terrifying rage. You pick up the radio. You call your team inside the bank. DEFCON 2. Your team opens the heavy doors of the bank. They aim a military-grade rocket launcher at an advancing armored police tank. They fire. The tank explodes in a ball of fire. You are no longer the Robin Hoods of Spain. You have crossed the Rubicon. The war has begun. Level 6. The descent into hell. Inside the bank, it is a slaughterhouse. Gandia, the lethal chief of security, escapes his handcuffs. He traps Nairobi. He shoots her point blank in the head. Another piece of your family is ripped away. Outside, everything collapses. Inspector Sierra goes rogue. She hunts you down. She kicks in the door to your secret hideout. She knocks you unconscious. When you wake up, you are chained from the ceiling. She holds a gun to your head. The great mastermind has been captured. But the universe is chaotic, and you are a survivor. Just as Sierra prepares to pull the trigger, her water breaks. She goes into agonizing labor. The woman who just tortured you collapses to the floor, screaming in pain. You, the man who meticulously plans every second of his life, must now act on pure instinct. You convince her to untie your hands. Your hands are covered in blood, but you deliver her baby. In the crucible of that bloody room, a bizarre respect is forged. When the police eventually close in, you and Sierra run together. Bitter enemies become reluctant allies. Meanwhile, inside the bank, the military blows a hole in the roof. Soldiers pour in. Tokyo is cornered. She is shot multiple times. Instead of surrendering, she unpins 4 grenades strapped to her chest. She looks the chief of security in the eye, and she detonates them. A massive explosion shakes the building. Tokyo is gone. Your heart is a graveyard. But the team finishes the job. They melt the National Gold Reserve into tiny grains. They pump it out through the city's stormwater pipes. It flows through the underground tunnels, right into your waiting hands. You have it. The physical wealth of an entire nation. But then, the final twist of the knife. A convoy of armed men ambushes your location. They tie you up. They steal the gold. When they pull their masks off, you realize who betrayed you. Raphael, Berlin's own son. Your nephew. He stole the gold right out from under you. You are left with absolutely nothing. Level 7, the ultimate checkmate. Back at the bank, the army captures your surviving team. Denver, Stockholm, Helsinki, Palermo, Lisbon. They are on their knees, guns to their heads. Colonel Tamayo has won, but the professor always has one final card to play. You write a secret note on a piece of paper. You hand it to Sierra. Find Raphael. Then, you do the unthinkable. You walk directly through the front doors of the Bank of Spain. You surrender in person. Tamayo laughs in your face. He interrogates you. But outside, the real world is burning. The public realizes the National Reserve is gone. The stock market crashes. Spain is hours away from total economic bankruptcy and sovereign default. Suddenly, a fleet of heavily guarded trucks pulls up outside the bank. They are carrying the gold bars. Tamayo breathes a sigh of relief. The country is saved. You look Tamayo dead in the eye. You lean in close. It's fake. Tamayo freezes. The gold in those trucks isn't real. It is worthless brass, coated in a thin layer of gold. You explain the checkmate. A country's wealth is just an illusion, a psychological agreement. If Tamayo walks out and tells the press the gold is fake, Spain goes bankrupt. He goes down in history as the man who destroyed the nation. But if he accepts the fake brass, locks it in the vault, and never tells a soul, the economy stabilizes. The crisis ends, and he is a national hero. You force the government of Spain to accept a lie to save themselves. Tamayo realizes he is utterly trapped by your genius. He agrees to your terms. Inside the bank, gunshots ring out. The news reports to the world that the entire gang was executed while resisting arrest. Black body bags are zipped up and carried out of the bank in front of thousands of flashing cameras. 24 hours later, a secret military airbase. The black body bags are unzipped. Your entire gang climbs out, breathing the fresh air. They are alive. You traded the fake gold for their lives. Sierra arrives. She successfully traded your secret note to Raphael in exchange for the real gold. It is safely hidden away in a small house in Portugal. Military officials, bound by the secret pact, hand you and your team brand new passports. With new identities, you stand on the tarmac. You look at Lisbon. You look at Denver. You didn't just rob a bank. You dismantled the state. You beat the system that killed your father. You board the helicopter and fly into the sunset. You are the professor, and you just pulled off the greatest heist in human history. Twice.